Hi, welcome to my first video on this channel. I wanted to create this channel just to show a more in-depth process of how I write, what I'm writing, and my time as a creative writing student at university. So this video will be about how I spend my day off campus. It is actually almost night time, as you can probably tell, so let's recap the day with me. Sit. Okay, so I've relocated upstairs, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on The Cruel Prince whilst I've just started reading The Wicked King. I think I'm just gone on to my third chapter of this. So I just wanted to give a short review of The Cruel Prince and what I thought of this so far. So first of all, I rated this 4 stars, I think. I was going to rate it 4.5, but I think I just stayed with 4 because although this is a great novel, it's a fantasy novel and it's basically Jude's life being ripped away from the mortal world and taken to the Fey world. And I won't get too much into like spoilers or anything, but basically it's her wanting to feel comfortable in the Fey world while she's bullied by this boy called Cardan and a lot of his school friends. So she is basically given these opportunities that will let her become more powerful even if she's a mortal. And basically it's her discovering through these opportunities things that she might not have known about Cardan before. So again, I won't give too much away, but it's things that I think as an author, I think Holly does very well. I think the way that she shifts us from absolutely despising Cardan to kind of having a soft spot for him, kind of realising that maybe everything is not so black and white with him, maybe he's not so stone cold, and maybe, you know, it's things in his environment and things in his past and even his present still that are causing him to like lash out with this anger. So I think she does that really well, and I'm hoping that with the second book, I'm hoping that maybe there's a little bit more romance, because I know there was a hint of it in the first book, but not so much of it. I think it was more focused on Jude's story and her process of coming out of her shell and realising exactly, you know, what she wants to do with her life. So I'm looking forward to reading this one and hoping for a little bit more romance. So if anyone follows me on TikTok, you might already know this, but I've just started beta reading for some people and people have been beta reading for me. So currently I'm reading over this girl's chapter. It's the second chapter and I'm really enjoying it so far. And I'm enjoying giving feedback. A lot of the process within my university is giving feedback to other students and people giving feedback to me. So I really like doing it and I really like receiving it. So I've been doing it outside of university as well. I think I'll go into this in more detail in another video, but I think my main concern, like with my first chapter, that it was becoming too chaotic because it's very action driven and there's a lot of movement between scenes. So I was wondering if it was hard to read, but so far all I've gotten is like good feedback and people have been understanding what's going on and where I'm going with the stories, which I'm really glad about. So if anyone wants me to read their chapters and if anyone wants to read mine, please just message me on Instagram or TikTok. I'll have those links below and I look forward to hearing from you. Really? Hi. So while I fold some clothes, I wanted to give some context as into how I first started creative writing. I feel like everyone has these really cool stories about how when they was younger they was obsessed with books and they was making these short poems and stories when they was younger out of like crayons and things. And just for me, that was not the case. So up until college, I never wrote at all, never read at all. I don't think reading was for me. I never really gave it a shot, but I always imagined that it wasn't for me, so I never really tried it out. And I chose English language in college, and I actually really hated English language. I chose it because I got a better grade in English language rather than English literature, but it actually ended up being really hard and I didn't really understand it. The only bit I did understand was the creative writing part that we did for like 2 or 3 weeks. So for those 2 or 3 weeks was then about different things, but I remember one of the things was monologues, and for our homework he asked us to go away and write a monologue. And I wrote this monologue about this guy who was getting sentenced to prison and he was getting the death sentence, and like he was talking about his wife and how emotional he was. And my teacher came up to me after I'd handed it in and said, "This is really good. I want to show it to the classes as an example for how you'd write a monologue." And so he showed them to the classes, and then he came to me after that and said, "You know, I think you're actually really good at creative writing, and I think that you could really benefit from writing a little more." And he went, "Why don't you try writing a short story?" And at this point, my sister was writing a novel, and I thought, I'm not going to write a short story, I'm going to write a novel. So after not reading it all, not writing it all, I decided to write a novel, and I did. I wrote a 400-page YA romance novel that I posted on Wattpad. Now at this time, obviously I hadn't read Wattpad, didn't know much about it, but my sister was reading things on Wattpad. And so I posted it on Wattpad. It's now deleted, so do not go look for it. But yeah, I posted it on Wattpad and I realised, I actually really like creating stories. And at this point I got into reading as well, not on Wattpad but actual books. I think the first book I really read was the Shatter Me series, if anyone's heard of it. And I thought, wow, I actually like reading these stories and I actually like writing these stories myself. So at this point it was the time when we was having to choose, you know, what we wanted to do at university and go into university. And my sister, I have a twin sister and she's also going to university, so she was doing accounting and I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I do creative writing or do I do geography? Because at this point I liked them both, didn't really know which one I liked more. And I thought about it and I thought creative writing sounds more enjoyable, and at this point creative writing didn't have any exams, and that is the main reason I chose it, because it didn't have any exams. And yeah, I'm in my third year now, going on to do my masters, and I'd say I've learned quite a lot from doing my creative writing degree. And now I love reading, I love writing, do both every day, try and do both every day. And yeah, now I'm writing my second novel. I'm 430 pages in as of yesterday, I think. It's a dystopian novel, new adult or young adult, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, I'm really enjoying writing, really enjoying reading. And I just wanted to say to anyone who thinks, you know, that it's too late, that they've never really grown up reading, never really grown up with an interest in it, just try it out and you could really end up loving it, go on to do it at university, and then on to do it as a career, as I'm hoping to do. So yeah, that was really how I started doing creative writing. Now I started writing books. Now that I've finished doing the beta reading on that chapter, I'm going to start writing my own chapter. Try and write every day. I'm almost finished with my novel, so I do try and write every day now just to get it done and to get onto the process of, you know, applying for agents and publishing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm working with my university teachers. I've got 2 lecturers who are both published, and I'm working with them, you know, just to tell me a little bit more about the publishing process, what to expect, you know, with getting accepted, declined, how many people you should be reaching out for, things like that. And I'm trying to write every day just to speed up that process. So yeah, I'm writing, which chapter am I on? I think I'm on chapter, one second. I'm on chapter 49 and I'm on page 433. But yeah, trying to write every day, looking forward to finishing. And I usually do this for like 2-3 hours depending on how long it takes me. I try to write a chapter a day, which is usually 1,500 to 2,000 words, just to keep the flow going, keep the book going. But recently I've been writing, I'm not going to spoil it, but recently I've been writing death scenes and bringing my protagonist through grief and things, and I just think that it's so difficult to write things when you haven't experienced them yourself. And like a lot of the time with dystopian and fantasy and these books that I'm wanting to write, you don't really experience any of it yourself. So I think I've just been like trying to figure that out, been showing them to my lecturers, to the students in my class, seeing what they think. And so far, I think, at least in my opinion, it sounds quite real and raw, the way that my character is reacting to these emotions. So yeah, for the duration of the afternoon, I'll probably spend it doing this. I usually listen to music. This is a question. Do you listen to music when you write? Because I cannot write without listening to music, especially on the days when I'm at university. If I'm in the library, a lot of times there's people talking and I can't concentrate. But for some reason I can concentrate when I'm listening to people singing, which doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, I listen to music every time. So I'm wondering if you do that. And then yeah, after this, I think probably read some more. There's a book that I have a class tomorrow, which by the time this is up is probably already happened. But was supposed to read a book for it and I didn't read it because it wasn't here. It's just come today, so I'm hoping to get some more of that done. And then yeah, read, write, maybe watch some YouTube and things. And I think that's maybe what I'll do for the rest of the day. So yeah, I'll come back when I've finished this. I just made a TikTok that I've been trying to make for so long. I had an idea where I wanted to do like actors I'd cast if my book was made into a movie. I think that was something that I think people would want to watch. So I got the actors up, which first of all, I'm not entirely sure I'm like happy with the actors I chose. But I was getting nervous about describing them. I didn't want to like say the wrong things and describe my characters wrong. I was forgetting that I actually had to describe my characters to describe why I chose the actor. But I got that done and I just spent like 2 hours making TikToks. I was supposed to be writing my chapter, but I did write some of it, but then I stopped. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here. I think I had quite a productive day. I've done some reading, I've done some beta reading and wrote some of my chapter, made some TikToks. So yeah, I think I've had a productive day, so I think I'll end it here. So thank you for watching and I should be making more of these in the future.